Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
And good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to catch my drift here at Wham Talk 1600. Got a lot to talk about today. It is primary day in South Carolina. And, of course, we'll have to bring up Donald Trump and the Ted Cruz and the Marco Rubio three-way that's going on down there. But we'll get that in a bit. Let's take care of business this half hour. Our sponsor is Regency of Whitmore Lake. It's a Sienna healthcare facility. And if you've got someone who needs a little secure memory care, or they also have veteran programs and 24-hour nursing, SiennaHealthcare.com is the place. And Regency of Whitmore Lake is not far from my house, right down the street, as a matter of fact. So you can reach them at 734-449-5505. And again, they do secure memory care, and they have programs for veterans, and they got a great buffet and restaurant-style dining facility in there as well. So if you got some rehab or something you need to get done, give them a call, 734-449-5505. Okay, so before we get into the primary and the death of Antonin Scalia last week, Derek, I tell you what, my heart dropped when I was working, obviously, after the show. And I think it was just a couple hours after the show it hit the news. And I was literally sick to my stomach when I heard that Judge Scalia died last Saturday. So brutal. We'll talk a little bit about that. But before we do, I want to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and probably a lot of other people who are conservative, and that's charter schools. And I've been pushing to have some charter schools for a long time out in our neck of the woods, and it looks like we're finally going to get one. And I've got guest Dick Streetman calling in. He's going to talk about the new Livingston Classical Academy. Dick, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Gary.
Great. So, congratulations. You guys, you want to talk a little bit about how you got your charter? I know you and Pat Battaglia have been working a while on this. You want to tell us a little bit about how it came together?
Well, for 3 years, we have put a group together seeking to start a Hillsdale College Barnard charter school in Livingston County. And we have worked hard for 3 years applying for authorization through several Michigan colleges and through school districts. We are very excited that we are finally at the point where within a few days we'll receive our charter code through the Whitmore Lake Public School District as a partial cyber charter, just meaning that we will have our students attend regular classes in the school, but there will be 4 classes that will be done through a cyber program before graduation.
All right, that's awesome. And if people don't know, Hillsdale College is one of the most conservative classic colleges in the country. It's a great program, and at the Current, I'm the editor of the Current, we ran last year a 5-article series on Hillsdale's Classical Charter Academy education. And I'm hoping that was helpful and beneficial in the whole process. But, man, Hillsdale College is the college, and I would encourage anyone across the country that if you want to do something in a charter school, definitely go to Hillsdale College. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And the Hillsdale classical curriculum is now being used in 13 Hillsdale classical schools around the country: New Mexico, Texas, Georgia, Arkansas, Florida, Nevada, and Colorado. And we'll be the first in Michigan, and I say first because we know of 8 other boards that are trying to form and get chartered in our state.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm glad Whitmore Lake, that's the school district I live in, and it's a great little school district, but it's been, suffering. The smaller school districts don't do that well because when these cuts come to educational monies, they have to kind of somehow find a way around that. And I think them partnering with you guys is a great step forward.
It is, because we will be physically located out of their geographical school district boundaries, so we won't directly compete with them and we can work jointly with them. And as authorizers, they will receive 3% of our state funding for our students to oversee our charter. So it's going to be mutually beneficial.
Yeah, and that's great, too, because it puts a lot of people say, oh, charters, they can get away, they're private, whatever. They're not. There's all kinds of checks and balances on charter schools. So it's a great opportunity and choice for students who may live in a school district where the schools aren't performing well. And I'm not saying that they aren't out here in Livingston County and northern Washtenaw, but it does give another option because, what Hillsdale does is give you that what we call a classical education where you talk about civics and all the things that conservative-minded people are really into, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the schooling that our founding fathers had, and for almost 300 years has been the schooling that's prepared leaders for our country.
Yeah, and I tell you what, when I look at schooling and educational standards today, and we've probably all seen it on Facebook or Twitter, there's the test from like 1910 when kids were in middle school, and it's tougher than a lot of college tests today. So, it seems like we've dumbed down our educational system in some fashion, and these new charter schools like this one with the Hillsdale curriculum are bumping that back up, aren't they?
They are, and the 13 schools that are in existence already are showing some amazing results. Plus, another key factor that will be important for parents interested in attending ours, I'll take the Atlanta Classical School as an example. This is their second year of operation, and they have about 600 student capacity in their school, and they have on the waiting list 1,000 parents that want to get in. So it's in the very early stages of these classical Hillsdale charter schools that one has to get in. And so we're looking excitedly at March 5th through the 18th when we're going to hold our parent informational meeting to discuss plans for opening in the fall. And there will be a 2-week enrollment period, March 5th through the 18th. And that's when people are going to have their main chance to enroll.
Okay, and do you want to say where that is? Is that at the American Spirit Center in Brighton?
Yes, it's the American Spirit Center, 10590 East Grand River, March 5th, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Okay, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, March 5th, the American Spirit Center, 10590 East Grand River in Brighton. You can Google up the American Spirit Center. Easy to get to, right on Grand River, off of Old 23, just east of Old 23. Make sure you do go to that. And I tell you what, if you want to get in, or if you're thinking about it, you need to get in fast because there will probably be a waiting list. I've been trying to get my son into a charter school for the longest period of time, and it's like almost impossible. Every charter school out there has a waiting list, and there's a reason for it because the education is really top-notch, and it's that old school, we call it classical education.
Yes, and our curriculum is a direct Hillsdale curriculum. We have to abide 100% by it and also meet all of the state regulations for Michigan. And so we have a dual oversight, and we're excited that we can do this. For the longest time, the universities were saying, no, we do not want to charter you, and basically because we were too traditional and not progressive enough. And so we're delighted that we have finally gotten to the point where a charter should be in hand within a week.
Right. Now, the location is going to be, because you're opening this fall, right, for school, and I know you guys are going to go modular campus at first, but in the meantime, you'll be working on the bigger buildings. But is that at the corner of Heine Road and Old 23 up near Heartland, right?
Yes, that's a beautiful site. It will be a subdivision back there, and we will be the first 18 acres on the corner, and the modular campus will be ready for opening this August. And as school opens, they will begin the construction of the brand new building. Probably the first part of the building that will go up will be a full-size high school gymnasium. so that our students in the modular campus can take advantage of that very quickly.
Okay, awesome. Now, do you have a website, Dick, that we can go to, or a phone number that you want to give to people?
Yes. www.livingstonClassicalAcademy.org. And we have an email site, too, at info@LivingstonClassicalAcademy.org.
Okay. And a phone number or no?
At this point, yes. We have a phone number where you can leave a message. I probably should have had that available, shouldn't I?
I don't. Yeah, because I've got one here, but I don't want to give out your number because I think that's the one I got.
Well, it's probably out there anyway, somewhere.
Right. Okay, so we'll live with that. You can go to the website, www.livingstonClassicalAcademy.org. Yes,
and there will be information about the enrollment procedures and where you can send the enrollment forms. And that is where there is a phone number for people to call in and leave a message.
Okay, so great.
Have them go to the website.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much, Dick. I appreciate your call. We've got some people actually going to... Why don't you hang on for a minute in case there's a question for you. Let's take a call from John in Brighton who wants to make a comment on the new charter school. Can we get that, Dirk?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, John.
Hey, congratulations on this school. I think it's going to be fantastic. And, Gary, I think you're being a little modest. I think you were the one that helped make the introduction between the Livingston Classical folks and Whitmore Lake some years ago. So I think that everybody should be thanking you also.
Well, if that's the case, it was a long time in coming because that was a long time ago.
Well,
there's a few years under my belt between then and now, that's for sure.
The seeds were planted, and from what I understand, you were a big help in that.
Well, I hope I was, and if I was, I'm certainly glad and proud to be part of it. So, charter schools are nothing but good. It's a little competition is good for the schools. It'll make even the public school system pick up their game a little bit. So it's good for the kids. Let's face it.
Choice is good. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, John. Appreciate the call. Okay, Dick, you're still there?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. You had one good call, Dick. We got to love that, right? Right off the bat.
Well, it's been wonderful that by word of mouth only, we have 300 parents who are on our contact list. So we're looking forward to some ads in the paper in the next few days regarding that informational meeting so the general public will have access to coming and enrolling. We also have one other thing that I didn't mention to make it a total package for working parents is that we're excited to announce that Early ACES will operate on our campus. Early ACES will be a premier learning center that offers both half-day and full-day preschool classes, infant and toddler care, as well as before and after-school programs.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
They'll collaborate with our teachers to ensure kindergarten readiness, and we're excited that they're going to be there.
Okay, great. All right. Well, Dick, I appreciate the call, and stay in touch. We'll see if we can help you out later on. Remember, Hillsdale, Livingston, it's Hillsdale curriculum in a Livingston Classical Academy.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.
Appreciate it. Bye.
You got it.
Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Well, there we go. Derek, let's go into a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the meat of the show. We're going to have Trump on board. We're going to do the whole 9 yards, and we'll go at it big time. We'll see you on the other side. I'm Gary Wellings, Chief Editor of The Current and The Daily Drift. With today's internet environment, it's easy to get information overload. The best way to process this information and cut through the internet chatter is to get your news delivered in a concise and effective manner. Get the news you need to know at thedailydrift.com. Check out The Daily Drift, one of the fastest growing websites around. At The Daily Drift, I find the local, state, national, and international stories you won't get from the mainstream media, and I make it easy for you to link to them. You'll also get original common sense opinions from local writers.
You can even get a free subscription that will deliver a link to your email inbox every day for free. You'll also get instant